What's up, my people? How is everyone doing? We're going to be doing a transfer review video, myself, Barca Boy, and Balgrana Planet, and what has been an absolutely crazy 24 hours. I think we've heard every single rumor all over the place, but now everything is done. The window is shut. Balgrana Planet and I are going to go through the window and we're going to review everything. Let's not mess about. Let's get straight into it. First one I want to talk about is, of course, Mariba. That is a done deal. 16 million euros to Barcelona plus 7 million in variables. What do you think about the transfer, Alex?
Well, I think that we finally got a good deal out of it. I thought it was going to be a very bad deal overall at the beginning, right? It seemed like it was going to be. I think this agency, Rogon, that's what it's called, they did a okay job at the end of the day trying to milk it. And they did us a favor. In fact, now if they convince the player and it was the player choice to leave, then it's the only thing that we can do is deal with it. But I think that Moriba has a great future ahead. And positive thing, we have 10% of a future sale. So
that is true, yeah. I want to go through his quotes today from his interview as a first-time RB Leipzig player. In his press conference, he said that the last few months have been the most difficult of my life. We have received ugly messages, but we have been able to endure it here. I don't deserve those messages that I have received. Many things have been said that are not true, and we have to keep quiet because I respect the Barcelona too much. Things have been said in the press that have not been fair. Many lies have been told. They talked about how he always loved Barcelona and how he's happy that Ansu Fati got the number 10. So what do you think about that quote there, saying that everything in the media is a lie? Because we all know, like, he wanted, well, maybe not him, but his agents, and they communicate to Barcelona that he wants more money. Ronald Koeman confirmed it in a press conference. Juan Laporta confirmed it in a press conference in the presentation of Emerson and Memphis Depay. What do you think about that, what he said?
I guess he's trying to dodge the bullet, right? He's trying to make it seem like it wasn't his fault or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't really his fault because he's an 18-year-old kid. He's not deciding his future. He's being advised. And possibly his dad has an incredible influence over the kid. And his
dad makes sense, right?
I mean, it makes sense, right? So that's what I assume. And this agency, they made a good business, right? They had Sabitzer as a client as well. Sabitzer moved from Leipzig, and now Moriba is arriving as a replacement. They got commission from both deals, and now they have Moriba there, who's going to get a ton of minutes, and possibly his value is going to skyrocket in the future. Therefore, it's a good deal from that point of view. For us, I think it's not a good deal. I think Moriba should have stayed. I liked Moriba a lot. We gave him a lot of chances. In fact, he was the first juvenile player ever in Football Club Barcelona to get a millionaire contract.
Yeah,
millionaire contract.
I don't even think he's only played like a few handful of games for Barcelona. But my question to you is, in the future, what we know now, everything, if the opportunity comes in the future, would you take him back?
It's a difficult question. I'd say if we have a good chance of getting a good offer, then maybe. Who knows?
Oh, like all the stuff coming back saying that, oh, he didn't sign beforehand, yada yada yada. You think the camp would react to him badly, or do you think maybe?
Well, I think people will understand finally that at the end of the day, it's not his decision. It's all about the agency. Everybody knows it's about the agency, and so. What is the player gonna do? They offer him what? I don't know if it's 3 million euros here in Leipzig. It's a lot of money for him.
Yeah, and I think the transfer RB Leipzig, they sold Sabitzer for 16, and they gave Barcelona 16 plus 7 as well. So in my opinion, I think in terms of the money that we've gotten, I think it's very, very good. You're 18-year-old, played a few games in Barcelona, hasn't, really shown his potential. Of course, his potential was shown in Juvenile A, maybe a little bit in Barcelona B. So I think like money-wise and, the situation that we are in, I think we did very, very well. Of course, I would want to keep him as well. But anyways, Moriba's gone now, so maybe we'll see him in the future. 10% sell on sale as well, just like Alex said. So maybe they sell him in the future to Bayern Munich. We'll get 8% of that. Now, the next transfer of the day was probably the most weirdest transfer I have seen since I've been a Barcelona fan. We signed Emerson Royal earlier this month. His presentation was, I believe, on August the 2nd. Not even a month later, we have sold him. 30 million apparently, flat fee. Now, with the commission to Real Betis, what we spent on him, Barcelona in total only made 5 million euros. So of course, we split the fee with Real Betis 6 million. We bought him back for 9. Then we had to give Real Betis 5 million for that percent on sale. So overall, we only made 5 million off Emerson Royal. Now, what is your thoughts about the sale of Emerson Royal?
Well, I think the opportunity came. We needed the money. We made a small profit, but we also covered the loss. We also covered the investment. So we got our money back from that investment, and we made some profit. A quick deal. The player had some potential. He didn't really show much in the very few games, the very few minutes he played. It was very few minutes. You can't really judge the guy on that. But,
Exactly.
we have Mingueza, we have Serginho Dest. We have a good offer from Emerson, and Mingueza's there. So right now, I think Joan Laporta is just trying to get money and trying to recover the club financially. Obviously, Mingueza earns less than Emerson. Therefore,
But
we're
Emerson didn't
winning
earn
for
that much.
money.
Remember, he was only I think 1.2 million a year, something like that. Because of course we brought him in when we were have no money. I think him, Depay, Aguero, Eric Garcia, all the specific contract is all based on appearances and variables. So I don't think he was earning too much. But my question to you is, if you were Juan Laporta, would you have accepted the offer? Would you maybe negotiate with Tottenham to get more money? What would you have done?
I bet the negotiation was done. There must have been a negotiation. It was a
They
last minute
offered
deal.
first, right? They offered 20 million plus Serge Aurier, who they now have terminated their contract. Barcelona said no, we want straight money. If you give us a big offer, we'll accept it. Otherwise, he will stay. And then they only offered 30 million. So that means they value Aurier as 10 million. So I don't really, in my opinion, I wouldn't have accepted it. I don't consider that a big offer. I would have taken 40 million. I think that's like my bare minimum. So would you have accepted the 30 million if you were Juan Laporta?
Yeah, I would, because you have Mingueza, and now you're freeing a wage, and you're also getting 30 million cash in hand. Obviously, you made 5 million euros, or maybe some more. The reports from Fernando Polo, he says it's 5 million euros, but he hasn't seen the numbers really himself.
Yeah.
It's just there are other reports saying that it's around 10 to 11, 15 million. It could be. I think it's going to be somewhere in between. Anyways, we got 30 million euro cash now. We covered the investment and we made the profit. We have Mingueza. I think it's a good move overall. Emerson, man, if this kid was the next Dani Alves, we would have seen in the first games, right? And yeah, anyways.
I think something for the comment of Roberto. I think Roberto will be used as an emergency, last second option. But back to Emerson, I think I have a theory. My hypothesis, you're saying. I think something happened at Getafe game. I don't know if Coleman and Laporta just saw that this guy sucks or whatever, and they just took the deal for him. I have no idea, and I have never seen a club sign a player and then sell him in the same window. I don't know. You've been a Barcelona fan longer than me. You think it's ever happened in Barcelona before? I don't remember since 2008.
I mean, many things have happened in the history of the club, but
Like
let's
what we
remember.
remember.
Let's remember. Yeah, but let's just think about what happened with Emerson. Really, we finalized the signing a month ago, but really we signed the player 2 years ago. Really, we actually completed the deal. We were just waiting him to get more mature, playing in Betis, but we had the preference of the signing. And we purchased the player with Betis, but we had the preference. I think we saw that Emerson has talent, but coming to Camp Nou is not easy. Playing for Barcelona is not easy, and we certainly saw a lot of pressure on Emerson. I know his dream, all of that. I think that it's a good move now in the short term. We need to build the team again. Emerson was good, yes, but the money was here. The offer was knocking on your door. Get
Yeah,
the money and run. We have Mingueza. Possibly Mingueza has the same talent as Emerson.
yeah. I think just for me, it's just really weird because, of course, we presented him, had this whole presentation, a few days Emerson, then we sold him. I just find that weird. That's all. Anyways, Emerson is gone now. Probably, I think, one of the weirdest transfers in Barcelona history, in my opinion, because, of course, we signed him, then we sold him at the same time. But Alex made a good point. We did technically sign him 2 years ago, then send him out on loan, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so next transfer that happened after this one on deadline day, just touched upon in 2 seconds or so, is Ray Manai. Went on loan to Serie A for 200,000 or 300,000 euros loan fee with the option to buy for 2.7. Now, I want to ask you about him later, but of course, I think you agree with this sale, just to get some space in the squad, what's really going to come in and all that stuff. So you can agree with me on that?
Right. I mean, Rayman, to be honest, I've seen him play in Barca B for so many games. He's an okay midfielder. I am forward. Sorry, forward. I don't think that he has the level to play in Football Club Barcelona as the first team. He doesn't have the level. Let's be honest. He played a good game, a couple good games in the preseason. Preseason is nothing. We beat Juventus 3-0. We beat Juventus 3-0, and we're throwing rockets. Preseason doesn't count as an example. Rayman, we'll be lucky if we get that 3 million executed, the purchase option. Although I think it might be a bit shy. I would at least pressure to get 5 to 10 million euros for the player.
Wow.
Honestly, I think we could get that money.
We'll see. Hopefully, well, if he shines now, they're just going to use that buy option. So I think it's just now or never for Barcelona. So, anyways, Manai, he was of course promoted to the first team and now has been sold as a first team player. That's why I'm bringing it up. So he's gone out on loan. Now we have to talk about the big one, the Antoine Griezmann to Atletico Madrid. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is how I understand the deal. Because when I first saw the statements, Atletico Madrid said it's an option to buy for the loan for this year. Barcelona said it's a mandatory. So this is how I understand it. On paper, it's a 2-year loan. So this year, he's going to go on loan. They're going to pay his whole entire wages. At the end of this season, that's currently happening, they have the option to extend the loan or to pay the 40 million. So they have that two options. If they extend the loan, they get him to pay a salary, and then at the end of that loan, 100% obligation to buy. That's how I understand it, if I'm not mistaken. So, and of course, there were reports coming out right now before we went live. It's coming in from Les Sport 2. They said that when they first proposed the loan deal for João Felix Barcelona, they said no, Atletico straight away. Then when they offered the swap deal, Ronald Koeman said yes. Juan Laporta, Matteo Alemany said yes. Diego Simeone said yes to the swap deal too. But the president of Atletico Madrid said no. So what do you think about that swap deal that could take place, and also your thoughts about Griezmann departing?
I would have loved to have João Felix. I would have loved to have that swap deal happen. Obviously, in money wise, for Atletico Madrid was losing deals for sure. You lose a young player with talent, even though he has been kind of a flop in Atletico, to be honest.
So far, yes. So far,
and Griezmann, 30 years old, 3 more years of football, pretty much at the highest level. And higher wages. Griezmann has higher wages. Therefore, they were basically on the losing side. In terms of Koeman, Laporta, Simeone, they're just thinking about the game. And obviously, Laporta, the money.
I'm surprised that Diego Simeone said yes, to be honest, to a straight swap.
Because
Antoine.
Yeah, basically because João Felix just doesn't fit the team. If you look at Atletico, they have so many players that can replace João Felix. So many players, ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
Garcia, Thomas Lamar,
Marcos Llorente. I mean, all of these players have a very similar profile. They're thin, they're fast. They go into the space. They have dribble. João Felix is easily replaceable there, but the president of Atletico de Madrid has made a crazy investment on João Felix, 120 million. He doesn't want to give it up like that. He wants to try to get João Felix back in order to sell him or do something with the player, more than swap him with a 30-year-old that Griezmann is. I don't know if it's going to fit in Atletico de Madrid, to be honest, now, because their style of play is very different from what it used to be with Diego Costa and Griezmann. Now it's very different. So to me, honestly, for Football Club Barcelona, is a great deal, because in pandemic, the market is destroyed. The market is 30, 40, 50% down. We paid 120 for him. Bartomeu price. Bartomeu price.
But the
Okay.
main price, yep.
Bartomeu price, which is probably double.
The regular price times that by like 6. That's the Bartomeu.
Yeah, no, okay. I'd say regular price before the pandemic, I'd say I give it 70, 80 million, somewhere around that. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
I think he was worth that.
I agree with that.
Not
Yeah.
not 120, which is 30% more, right? So that's what I call the Bartomeu price. That 30% extra you pay for no reason, just because you're a clown with Bartomeu.
Yeah.
So I think that the wages, also terrible wages that we're paying the guy, we free from the wages, because before tax, guys, before tax, that's what's actually coming from Barca's pocket. Barca's bank is 40 million euros. They're paying Griezmann a year. It's 20 million euros after tax. But what comes out of the bank, what comes out of Barca's pocket is 40 million euros per season. So in 2 season loan, you're saving 80 million euros. Plus, you're getting a 50 or 40 million euro check.
Yeah. Just to add to your point
It's a done
too.
deal. It's a done deal for me.
Yeah,
It's
just
a
to add
done
to
deal.
your point too, Sport, they came out today saying that from the club, the way they interpret the Antoine Griezmann deal is that we would trade Antoine Griezmann for Donald Duck. Not because we think Antoine Griezmann is bad, but because of his salary, we simply cannot afford it. So if Barcelona offered a swap deal for Donald Duck, the board would have accepted it because his wages are just unbearable and unaffordable, and it would have taken so much time to negotiate a contract, salary reduction, all that sort of stuff. For me, the way I see it is, I think it's a good deal, not a great deal. I think with all this loan stuff, yada yada, yada, we don't get the money until maybe 2 years from now. But for me, the most important thing is the wages. The fact that Atletico are going to cover all the wages is a big, big bonus. And I wish we got a player out of it. Now looking back, I would have done the Saul Niguez Antoine Griezmann swap deal just to get a player that could be useful for us. But in the end, it wasn't meant to be. But we did bring in a new player on deadline day yesterday, and that is Luke De Jong. He's joining on a simple loan. Now, they're hearing reports coming out that we're not even going to pay his whole entire salary. The club released a statement saying that we're going to pay his entire salary. But there's a report coming out in the media right now that's saying that, look, it's going to be, mostly Barcelona, but Sevilla will cover some of it. It's a simple loan, 1 year. At the end, Barcelona have the option to buy De Jong for free. So I was going to ask you, we're talking about Ray Manai. This is where my question comes in. First of all, what do you think about Luke De Jong coming in? And secondly, would you have, would you have rather kept Ray Manai and not sign Luke De Jong, or sign Luke De Jong and get rid of Ray Manai?
I'll go with this last question first. 100% get Luke De Jong instead of Ray Manai. 100%. First of all, this man has experience in the Dutch league. This guy was a killer. He has good experience. Is a different kind of player from what Barcelona has and they have had. But let's be honest, from Griezmann to Luke De Jong, it's a downgrade. It's a serious downgrade. The thing is that this kid is going to be earning pretty much nothing. I mean, this man, he's I don't know, he's almost 30 years old, right?
Yeah, he's older than both of us. We can't call him
Exactly. So this man, he's going to be earning pretty much nothing compared to what Griezmann was earning, and he's coming on a loan. This means, it makes me think that we're making space for a signing next season or this winter, who knows, this season. Therefore, next season, I expect something happening, and I really hope that Joan Laporta can do something, Obviously, I honestly believe that in this market, this is a good deal, although Luke De Jong isn't the most promising player out there. But as I said, Luke De Jong is going to be on the bench. You're going to have Memphis. You're going to have.
He's going to start now after the international break because right now all of them are injured. So.
I mean, yeah. So we look at it like, oh, we're going to play against Sevilla with Luke De Jong. I mean, probably not.
And Bayern,
probably not.
Bayern too.
Probably not. It doesn't really matter, man. This Champions League group we're going to be second. Or you know what? No, I still believe we can be first. But the chances are slim. Anyways, I think that Luke De Jong can provide us good stuff, man. It's different from Braithwaite. Very different from Braithwaite. And there's something that we just didn't have. I think the closest player to Luke De Jong was Ibrahimovic, just because of his height. Obviously, Ibrahimovic was a dribbler, was a juggler. I mean, pretty much nothing to do with him, but it was a fixed number 9, and that's what Luke De Jong is going to provide us. Also very good in aerial game, something that Barcelona has never had. Only Piqué possibly, and Puyol, back in the day. We have to go 15 years back, until we had somebody good in the aerial game. So that's what's going to be providing Luke De Jong to Barcelona. Let's be positive. The deal is done. It's worthless to criticize, to complain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm always going with my team. If this deal was done and Griezmann is leaving, it's because of a reason, okay? And Barcelona cannot be sustainable with paying 20 million per year after tax to Griezmann, who doesn't do anything in the club. That's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. And people are going to be saying, no, but you have Coutinho, you have Umtiti, you have Pjanic, you have... Yes. Umtiti, we tried to get rid of Umtiti or not? We tried. The problem is that the 12 million euros he's earning, okay? Nobody wants to pay him that. And he has a valid contract, so he wants to stay. Pjanic, pretty much the same thing. It's not 12 million, it's 16 million per season. Who wants to sign this Deadwood? 16 million per season. Tell me, who wants to sign him? Nobody wants to sign him. Nobody wants to sign him. Then what are you going to do? Terminate the contract? Terminate the contract? You know what terminates the contract means? You have to pay him the full amount. The full amount. If he has 2-year contract, then the 2-year wage you're going to have to pay him. For that, you keep him in the club. You only terminate contracts if it's a really bad deal. Mateus Fernandez, they did it. And Mateus Fernandez is going to open a legal dispute against the club.
Yeah.
And we will see what happens. But, man, you cannot open a legal dispute against Umtiti or Umtiti against the club, because you're probably going to be losing that. And that deal is going to be terrible. You're going to be paying not only the 2-year wage, but also a fee on top of that.
You look bad, and the club makes the club look bad too. I completely agree.
Makes the club look bad, yeah.
I think overall, I 100% agree with you. Him coming in, I think he'll be on the bench 100%. He'll be when we're 0-0 at the Camp Nou against Eibar, you bring Luke De Jong on, cross it in the box, he'll score. He'll be a good asset in that sense. He's basically coming for free almost. If you didn't want him, I think Juan Laporta did very well to get him for free and not pay his full salary so far, according to reports. I think in the end, he's better than nothing. And yes, he's better than Raymond Nye, in my opinion. I would have done the exact same thing, get rid of Raymond Nye and bring in Luke De Jong, experience. And like I said, off the bench, we're struggling against, Real Vallecano, Real Mallorca at the Camp Nou. It always happens, 0-0, 1-1. You bring him on, he'll come and score a header or something like that. So I think overall, it's a patch, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion. He'll be 1 year unless he, turns into, Lionel Messi, scores 50 goals, 50 assists, all that stuff, which won't happen. But what you said was a good point, by the way, about Braithwaite. They're very, very different style of players. Braithwaite, he has some pace about his game. Good finisher. Luke De Jong is a plain and simple target man. In the box, he'll wait there for you. Get him the ball, he'll finish it with his head or his feet. Overall, I think the deal is very, very good. Just a recap on all the departures, of course. I think Barcelona, during this window, we have earned around 80 million euros. That's like guaranteed 100%. But then we have another 80 million euros in, buy options and, variables, all that sort of stuff. So departure on the left-hand side, overall, from the first team, you have Messi leaving for free, Griezmann, Trincao, Moriba, Emerson, Firpo, Todibo, Alenia, which we don't know, by the way, Alenia, if it's 5 million. The club never, confirmed that. That's just reports. Hakimi, Conrad, Cucurella, of course, with that, future sale clause that we had, and Ray Mana. And, of course, our transfers coming in have all been free except for Yusuf Demir. He was a 500,000 loan move, but of course we will going to be activating that buy option for him 100% because he has been promoted to the first team. So overall, in terms of the money that we brought in and brought out, what do you think about the entire Juan Laporta summer transfer window?
It's just sanitizing the club. I'd say it. He's sanitizing the club. I mean, you have players like Cucurella. Cucurella was gone, but it's just the commissioner. Conrad, Hakimi, Alenia, Todibo, Firpo, I'd include Trincao, I'd include even Emerson. Guys, these are players that are not solidified in the first team. You can get rid of them and not be in trouble. Although obviously Griezmann is a different thing.
Of course, Leo too.
It's a player that never fitted in Barcelona, and we were paying a crazy amount for him. Messi, obviously the big exception, simply undoable. You have the salary, the wage bill is stratospherical. It still is, even without Griezmann and all these people. it still is stratospherical because you have Umtitis, you have Pjanics, you have the captain still. They still earn a good amount of money, and we need to solve this. This is sanitation here. We need to get rid of these people. And Messi, you know what? Messi wouldn't have been able to sign even if we executed all of this the first day of the transfer. I'm
Really?
sure.
So
I think no. I think no because
even with like the wage reductions of Busi, Jerry, and
I
Jordi.
mean very hardly, very hardly. I think you need a reduction, a way higher reduction. If you look at Bartomeu's plan, what he was saying, what he said that he was going to apply in order to get Leo Messi in the club back again was first of all agreeing the CBC deal,
Yeah.
which was getting the limit higher, okay, because you were getting more income. Then executing an unilateral wage reduction to the whole squad, to the whole squad. It was unilateral. It was not asking the player a negotiation. No. Unilateral. And then imagine the consequences. The
Yeah.
consequences of the players. It would have been chaos. But that is Bartomeu style. So it was mortgaging the club for 40 years with the CBC deal, and then unilaterally changed the contracts, the legal contracts which are valid, of the players. All of this in order to get Messi back in the squad without a wage reduction, but with a postponement of the deal, of the salary, into 5 years. Because let's remember, Messi never reduced his wages. It was all postponed. Postponing the salaries in the 5 years. That was the whole thing.
I think
Obviously.
in terms of Leo, he was going to reduce his wages, but in the end, I don't think it was going to be enough. I think right now, Barcelona are still over the wage limit. I think right now we're at 110% without Leo. So from when Leo Messi decided to leave, well, not decide, when he was told he can't stay with Barcelona. From that point, we were 110% over. Now we're hearing reports that we're 75% over, which is of course the good area. I think Juan Laporta said in the press conference, all the clubs should be around 65, 70. So we're almost there. But that's of course sacrificing Leo Messi and Griezmann, the two highest earners at the club. So overall, I want to ask you, your rating on the transfer window of Barcelona, 1 to 10. Of course, 10 being fantastic, perfect, 1 being absolutely terrible. For me, I would put it at a 3 or 4. I think in terms of reducing the wage bill, that mission from the beginning, I'll give it a thumbs up. But of course, losing Messi on a free, the delay, by the way, we didn't do anything until August. That's something that really, really annoys me. Of course, you're coming in, settling in, all that stuff. You had, the women's win the treble. You had to focus on that. The men's team, basketball, handball, all that stuff. I understand that, but he could have moved faster. And I don't want to. I hate people saying that. Oh, he couldn't have. I disagree. I think 100% he could have moved faster. And of course, you look at the squad. Which we'll get into in a few minutes. The squad is weaker now, no doubt about that, in my opinion. And of course, the big factor, losing Leo Messi. So overall, I'll probably give it, I'd say, like a 3 out of 10. I think the money coming in is good. So what would you give it as a rating? Of course, in the chat, let me know your ratings as well.
Well, taking into account Laporta inherited possibly the worst accounts, the worst, the biggest problem.
Not possibly.
Yeah, the worst. I mean, maybe in the past there had been some troubles as well, but it's definitely the worst. And man, just taking that into account, I think Laporta did a great job. Obviously, I'm not gonna give you a number because, I mean, I give him a passing number. He passed. Messi, nobody without mortgaging the club and destroying the relationship between the club and the players, like Bartomeu was gonna do with the unilateral reduction of the wage. Man, he did a great job. I mean, nobody would have been able to keep Messi. People say, no, Victor Font had a PowerPoint, guys. He had a PowerPoint. Do you believe in PowerPoints? Maybe yes. But a PowerPoint? Don't rely on PowerPoints, guys. I rely on actions. And in fact, Victor Font blew his own campaign, in which he invested a ton of money, by the way. He blew it himself with stupid comments. So I think that Laporta did a great job, in my opinion. Obviously, keeping Leo Messi was nearly impossible without destroying the club for many years.
CBC deal, all that stuff, yeah.
CBC deal, man, Bartomeu was going to execute a unilateral wage reduction of the whole squad. Even if they wanted or not, it was going to happen. That was Bartomeu for you guys. And imagine what the consequences, man, I can't imagine the consequences. But so, yeah, I'll give him a passing grade, possibly a 6.
Yeah, so 6 is the passing
I
grade.
think I think that some things have been a bit improvised. Let's be honest. I'm gonna give you both sides, the good and the bad. I think a bit of improvisation, which in this situation, it hurts because maybe things could have been done a bit better.
Yeah.
But looking at what he did, look at this list of players, look at the amount of money we can cash in, and look at the incorporations. Because people are only looking at, oh, we sold this guy and this other. We got Memphis Depay for free. We got Eric Garcia for free. For free. Memphis Depay is worth at least 40 million euros. We got the guy for free without even paying him a player's fee, right?
So no sign-up bonus, yeah.
Right.
And he earns next to nothing too.
Exactly. I mean, look at Real Madrid. They signed Alaba. They paid the player 20 million euros straight to the player.
Yeah.
We paid nothing to Memphis. Paid nothing to Memphis. Give credit to that. It's an incredible incorporation. Eddie Garcia as well, by the way.
Coleman was a big factor for Memphis as well, and for Luke De Jong too. Of course, he did.
And Luke De Jong as well, obviously. I mean,
the report saying that like the club didn't want to bring in Luke De Jong, but Coleman was pushing it. So they said, you know what? Let's say, nothing deal. We'll back you. We'll give you what you want. But I think for me, I gave it a 3, right? But I think if we kept Messi, I would have gave it a 6. That's, I think the Messi factor is what, hurts me the most. But I understand that it was next to impossible to keep him. But, delaying it until the deadline that Leo Messi set, I think is, a bit harsh from him. So we gave both sides, I think we both gave a fair grade.
I wanna say this comment. I wanna back you here. I think the management with Messi, it wasn't right. Possibly they should have told Leo Messi at least the possibility of him not continuing in Barcelona. From what we know is that he never told the player. He told the player at least 1 or 2 days before the actual official departure, right? So I think Laporta was waiting until the last minute. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to wait until yesterday, until deadline day.
Yeah.
First of all, because you need to let Messi go somewhere else, and also La Liga starting. La Liga was starting. All leagues were starting. Messi doesn't want to be sitting at his place waiting for his future to be resolved while others are playing. You can't do that. You can't do that. So you cannot wait until deadline day for that. And I think Laporta finished it off on time. But the problem is that he should have told Leo Messi that the chances were very slim.
In the beginning, yeah. I think what Juan Laporta did do, though, just to cut you off, I think he offered him the best that Barcelona could do. I think we can agree on that. And of course, they shook on it. He said they shook on it in the room. They hugged. It was all done. But then La Liga did not approve it. So Juan Laporta, based on what he promised in his campaign, he said, I'm going to offer you a contract you won't refuse. And he didn't. He offered him the best contract that Barcelona can afford, without a shadow of a doubt. But of course, delaying it, all that sort of stuff, caused it, the tension between him and Messi at the end.
Right. It makes me think that the CVC agreement was certainly considered.
Yeah, because Javier said they offered the CVC in July 15th, something like that. So Juan Laporta knew about it 1 month before it leaked in the media.
Yeah, there were. It makes me feel, and my hypothesis is that they really waited until the last second, and they considered all the options. They considered all the options in order to try to retain Leo Messi. But at the end, they said, look, these options are not viable. You're mortgaging the club, or it's just not viable. And they took the option. They finally had to decline. And obviously, Leo Messi, man, it's just unlucky. His contract had expired, basically.
Yeah. Imagine we had one more year on that contract. But here's a visual for you guys to see it overall instead of, just letters and text. I think we can all agree it's not the window that we would like. It's not the window that we anticipated. But there is some good news, and of course, there was some bad news overall. We got some good money in for, in a pandemic market. and with everyone knowing that Barcelona is broke. So I think we brought good money in, but of course we sacrificed a lot. We lost the greatest player of all time, and of course, like I mentioned before, I think a few minutes ago, the squad, in my opinion, is weaker. Now, here is the dynamic of the squad with everyone. The starting players don't really worry about that. Just put players where they fit, all that sort of stuff. We have a lot of players in the attack. Midfield looks a little bit, weak, and of course the defense looks, overstocked. But again, not the quality that we need. So, do you think this team has taken a big downgrade from the team last year?
I mean, obviously, yeah. But first, let me
Excluding,
reply to a
excluding Messi.
comment. Let me reply to a comment I see from Soleil 1990 says Laporta was elected because he said, "I will keep Messi." 100% a lie, bro. He never said he was gonna retain Messi. He said he was gonna try his best to retain Leo Messi within the economical conditions of the club. People from Twitter, people from Instagram, guys, you don't see the real news. You don't see the real Laporta speaking. Therefore, stop saying crap, because Laporta never said that. Okay, I understand a lot of people are deceived and they thought that maybe with Laporta Messi was going to stay. Yeah. He never said, and you can go back and watch all of the interviews. There is not even one time where he says that I will retain Leo Messi. He said he will try his best and within the economical conditions. And believe me, he tried. He tried his best. He considered all the options, as we said in this live stream.
I think people are just disappointed because, with the Juan Laporta, Leo Messi connection, they all thought that would, seal it. Of course, we all know that Leo Messi voted for Juan Laporta in the election. It's not confirmed, but who else would he vote for, right? I think people are just overreacting now because they see, the Barcelona Twitter account saying that, Juan Laporta promises to keep Messi, but of course it's lost in translation. I've watched all the interviews. I've seen the debates on Barcelona TV. He said exactly what Alex just said. I will try my best to keep Messi in the parameters of the club, and if you vote for me, you know that I will have the best chance. Of course, Tony Freya, Victor Font said the exact same thing, but we know that Leo Messi and Juan Laporta have a connection, and we know that if Victor Font and Tony Freya maybe offered that contract to Messi, the 50% wage reduction, all that stuff, maybe he would have said no. But with Juan Laporta, he knows he had that connection. So I agree with you on that sense 100%. He never said that he was going to stay 100%. He said that I would do my best. In the end, I think he did his best, but of course, then wasted a lot of time, in my opinion. But back to the question, do you think this without, take out Messi, of course, because
right? Yeah, I think
the squad is weaker from last season.
I mean, you had Messi, you had Griezmann. From that, you take out Griezmann, you take out Messi, man. The rest is pretty much the same. I think even a bit stronger in defense. Eric Garcia coming in is a good signing. He's going to give us good play. He's going to get the ball into the midfield very well. That's what he does best. Yep. Promoting players like Gavi, Nico. I mean, they're not promoted, but they're going to have more minutes for sure. Demir is a good incorporation. Getting back Coutinho, getting back Ansu Fati. Memphis Depay, man. Memphis Depay is critical. We lost Messi, we got Memphis Depay. Nothing close to, but it's the closest that we can get right now for free in the conditions that the club is in. So this squad honestly makes me believe we can win La Liga, we can win the Copa del Rey, we can win both titles, no problem. I fully believe in it. I understand people might think, La Copa del Rey might be easier. It might be, but I think La Liga is consistent and we can get that consistency. And Champions League, who knows?
We'll talk about the prediction near the end, but I want to bring in about in the squad right now, what area do you think we're the weakest in? For me personally, I think it's fullback. You have Des, Mingueza, and Jordi Alba as the first team fullbacks. Jordi Alba, I think now guaranteed he's going to play every single game and be rested maybe 1 or 2 games max. Hopefully he doesn't get an injury, but if he does, Alejandro Valdez will get his chance, or maybe we'll see Des at left back, Mingueza at right back. I think also the midfield as well, we're lacking that Frankie de Jong style of player, box to box on the right-hand side, up and down the pitch, kind of like Arturo Vidal. But for me, the main concern is at the fullbacks. Anything that concerns you in the team?
Left back. If Jordi Alba gets injured, Alejandro Valdez cannot play quarterfinals of a Champions League. I mean, he can play, but not going to be the same.
He did well in preseason. I think he was the Barcelona B player that impressed me the most.
Right,
of course, now he's playing with Barcelona B because Ronald Koeman told me you're not going to get any minutes, go play. It's better for you to play and sit on the bench. But now with Emerson out, he could be sitting on the bench a lot more because, of course, Koeman, he's very, very stubborn. He wants to have the emergency option. He has two goalkeepers on the bench. Why not have two fullbacks? So I think we'll see a lot more Alejandro Valdez on the bench. I think he should give him more minutes. Of course, knowing that Jordi Alba is the only first team left back is going to be key to rest him in some games. Don't play him every single week like Valverde did, but we'll see how Ronald Koeman handles it. If you want to add
No,
anything.
100%. I mean, Balde is a future of this club. Balde has an incredible talent. I'm just saying that for big, important, key games, you cannot rely on a youngster that played 2 preseason games. You know what I mean? This is what
Yeah,
I
I
wanted to
understand.
say. Obviously, I love the kid. Alejandro Valdez is going to explode. Possibly this season is going to explode in the B team and is going to get a bunch of minutes in the first team. And also next season is going to make the real breakthrough, I believe. In terms of the midfield, I see it well. I think we have good options. We have Nico Gonzalez giving freshness. He can play as an offensive midfielder as well. Sergio Roberto, as much as people hate him because he was playing in the right back position, his not natural position. I mean, you look at the stats right now. Sergio Roberto is one of the best midfielders of La Liga, according to the stats.
Yeah, he's probably one of the
Okay?
best Barcelona players right now behind Messi.
According to the stats, okay? According to the stats, because people are going to start commenting now. But
Yeah.
look at the stats.
Well,
Look
yeah,
at the
three
stats.
games, 2 goals, 1 assist. That's a goal involvement in each game.
I mean, I'm telling you, if we can get Roberto back in the midfield, it's going to be a great signing. Gavi has an incredible potential, man. I saw Gavi, dude, against Getafe. I was there in the stadium. I saw Gavi do 2 or 3 times more in 15 minutes than what Griezmann did in a whole game. In the whole game. In 15 minutes, a 17-year-old did 2 or 3 times more than what Griezmann did.
Yeah.
Incredible talent there. In terms of Ansu Fati, obviously, I have big hopes on him. Coutinho, let's get back Coutinho.
I was just going to bring that up. I tweeted last night saying that we need a massive season from Coutinho. No injuries, hopefully. And the question for me is, how's he going to fit? Is Coleman going to switch to the 4-2-3-1 just to fit Coutinho in? Will he play in that left center mid right here where Pedri is? Or will he play on the wing again? We all know he's not that great on the wing. So my 2 questions for you is, where would you play Coutinho? Would you switch to formation, just for him? And secondly, how big of a season does he have to have?
I believe that you have to play Coutinho either offensive midfielder coming in from just from behind
Pedri
the main
position.
striker, Pedri's position, but you can also play him somewhere in the wing, but not in a game that's going up and down. You know, in a game that you're playing against an Eibar, a very defensive team, for example. Very defensive teams. Basically, you need a lot of game. You need a lot of movement in the ball. Then you can play Coutinho on the wing, and he's not gonna be a winger like Dembele style. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's gonna be passing the ball. He's gonna be creating game in the side, and that's where you can see Coutinho exploit, especially on the left side. Then moving into the midfield, that's what he likes to do. I think that we can get back Coutinho. I have big hopes on the player. Obviously, if Dembele, man, also Dembele is fit.
I think if Dembele stays fit, he'll be fine. The question for him is just staying fit. I think last season he did well. Of course, the year before that, he was very, very good under Valverde. I think if he just stays fit, he'll be fine. But for me, man, it's Coutinho. He needs to stay fit and he needs to perform. And if he doesn't, the Camp Nou are gonna boo him, all that stuff, whistle him. He needs to come on. If he just even shows effort, tries and tries and doesn't, come off, it's okay. But a big, big season for Coutinho is coming. So that's our thoughts on the squad. And Barcelona this morning gave us a big bombshell. Now, I recommend you go watch Blaugrana Planet's live stream he did this morning. He was very, very funny with the celebrations. This on the screen is the official squad numbers for Barcelona for this season. Now, we have some big surprises. Firstly, Mingueza takes number 22 from Emerson. That was, confirmed. Luke de Jong takes Ansu Fati's number 17. And Demir takes number 11 from Ousmane Dembele. And Ousmane Dembele took number 7 from Antoine Griezmann. So I'll talk about Ansu Fati again, the number 10. So the rules in La Liga is that this was coming in from Moises Malorens and Samuel Marsden from ESPN. They came out saying that Barcelona initially wanted to leave the number 10 unused just for this season in honor of Messi. But La Liga rules state that all first-team players must wear numbers between 1 and 25. So with Demir getting promoted last night, it made that very difficult for Barcelona to use the number 10. So I think, in that sense, it had to happen. I think for me, I would have liked to have kept it, just no one for this year in honor of Leo. And then next year I would have gave it to the man who's got it right now. But overall, your thoughts on the numbers? I don't know if you really care about it. I think I wish Demir got like 17. I think that would have been more of a number for him. But then Luke de Jong would have had to get number 11. I would have been a big fan of that. But I think the big surprise for me is that Dembele taking number 7 from Griezmann, of course. Dembele wore number 7 in Dortmund. That was like the prime of his career, no injuries, and was one of the best wingers in the world. But anything you're disappointed with, or you just okay with everything?
I'm all right with it. I mean, big shock it was Ansu Fati, of course. As you said in the live stream, I knew about Ansu Fati. Obviously, I was making the live stream, but I didn't know Ousmane Dembele had the number 7, Demir the 11, and in the stream, I actually reacted, and it was the honest reaction because it was the first time seeing it. But yeah,
Demir got promoted last night. I was quite shocked because I was sitting there thinking, I was looking at the numbers like they're gonna have to use number 10 with the rule, of course, with La Liga. They were gonna have to give it. So once they promote him, I'm like, oh God, they're gonna give it. That's when I kind of realized it. And of course, this morning they confirmed it. But let's go on to one player who doesn't have a first team number, Alex Collado. I have no idea what's happening with this guy. Now, reports were coming out saying that he had agreed a loan move to Sheffield United in the Championship. Barcelona were so focused on the Antoine Griezmann deal and Luke de Jong, they forgot to submit the papers. That's one rumor. Another rumor is that Alex Collado last second said, no, I want to stay. I think with him getting no first team number is a big slap in his face because, of course, a few months ago, he signed a contract renewal staying at the club, and he was told, Juan Laporta, that 100% you will be a first team player. But with the rise of Yusuf Demir and Ronald Koeman not really liking Alex Collado, it's not happened. So right now, Collado is not a first team player. He's not a Barcelona B player. He's just a player. I don't know what else to say. What do you think?
He's a B player. He must be.
He's not because his contract prevents that when he finished his contract last season.
Yeah, well, I mean,
if you look on the website, he's not a Barcelona B player. He's just nowhere.
It must be. No, to be honest, look, I think it's a bit of both things, right? Collado saw that Griezmann is leaving, and he said, and Messi left, dude, I have the biggest chances now of getting minutes. Obviously, Luke de Jong is arriving, but Luke de Jong has nothing to do with Collado. I mean, they're completely different players. Therefore, to be honest, I think Collado wants to get minutes. Also, let me say that Collado never wanted to leave. He's being forced out, and he's being forced out all alone without a buy option. Okay, he was forcing the deal to not have a buy option. He doesn't want to leave the club, man, by any means. He's going to go on loan for 1 year. That's what he accepted, but he's not going now because the deal collapsed. But I have my doubts, right? Because the hypothesis, both could be right. First of all, he decided to stay because of the Griezmann deal appeared in the last second. And second of all, this paperwork thing, which I don't really believe, man.
I don't believe either.
Man, if you have an agreement with a club, you have an agreement with a player, do you think you forget to send an email? Just like that? You don't forget.
I laugh because it's a funny rumor. It's a funny, mistake. That some people say they're too busy eating the pizza, they forgot about Collado. But
that's honestly, that's to me that sounds fake.
Yeah.
Very fake.
I think right now the players right now that are fit. The front three is Memphis, Luke de Jong, Demir, and Collado. Those are the 4 fit attackers that we have right now. With Koeman not liking Collado, do you think he'll even make the bench? Because I cannot see Collado getting a single minute. Of course, the Copa does not start until January. January, we have a lot of games, Spanish Super Cup, Copa, La Liga, Champions. I cannot see Collado getting a minute from now until January. Do you think that Ronald Koeman will use him before the players come back fit? Because once they come back fit, I mean, he won't even be in the Camp Nou to watch the game. So do you think he has an opportunity before January to play?
Man, honestly, I'm thinking about the situation of Collado right now. He's not registered in the B team.
I know, yeah. He's just there.
I mean, he's a player. I mean, let's look at La Liga because
the contract that he signed with Juan Laporta a few months ago it prevents him from being a Barcelona B player anymore. He has to be a first teamer or he goes out on loan, something like that. There are reports coming out saying that Barcelona is still looking for a loan move for him because I think the Turkish and the Russian transfer window is still open, but you don't want to really send him there. I think Coleman has really done him dirty. He's never given him a chance. Even last year in the Copa, we had a lot of injuries during that time. He put Collado in the squad list, but didn't have him on the bench. He played a tired Ousmane Dembele. He played a tired Pedri just to prevent Collado from coming in. This, for me, is the Ricky Puig 2.0. I think Ricky Puig has more status in the club. He's best friends with Gerard Piqué. Juan Laporta, that's why he's still on the bench, still in the squad list. He goes out to warm up a little bit. But Collado has no connections, and he's just been absolutely frozen out by Coleman. This is another example of him being stubborn, in my opinion, but I think something has to be resolved very soon. I think something for Collado has to be resolved before we come back from the international break, or else I'm going to be sitting here in my match predictions saying that where's Collado, right? So I think it's a really, really weird situation, in my opinion.
Well, what I can say is that my hypothesis is that Ronald Koeman doesn't like players that are bragging, that are like, oh, they think that I'm the best,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at this guy, Collado. He's an honest guy, okay? I know the guy, not personally, but I know he's an honest guy. He's a hard worker, but he might appear like he has a lot of swag, I don't know. I can't find the right word, man.
I know what you mean because when he made his debut under Ernesto, he's like a little boy, short hair, and then now he's all of a sudden tattoos, long hair, trying to look swag. But I don't think he comes off that way.
Right,
he looks that way.
But look at this. Ricky Puig is pretty much the same. The man loves to brag.
He doesn't look like
the man loves to brag. So it makes me feel. And then you see Gavi, and then you see Nico Gonzalez. They're very humble kids, very humble. They only play football. They don't say anything. Instead, Ricky Puig is social media king, and Collado is hairstyle guru.
So I don't. Yeah.
No, but it's a hypothesis. It's a hypothesis. It's not my hypothesis. I'm just leaving it out there for you guys to think because it matches. It works. I mean, both of these players are, they feel like they're the best. They're the best players ever, But at the end of the day, Ronald Koeman is bullying both of them.
Okay, just before we move on, quick question: Collado or Demir? Are you team Collado right now or team Demir?
They're different players, man. Demir is more vertical. Demir is more vertical, man. Demir is a winger. Collado is a creator. He can create. He can dribble, but he's not a winger.
Yeah.
He's not a full winger. It's more of a. It's a Coutinho. Exactly. It's a Coutinho.
Yeah.
Demir is more of a Dembele.
Yeah. That's it. Dembele. Yeah. I agree, but.
And you cannot play. Sorry to interrupt you, because you cannot play Coutinho in Dembele's position. This is what Ernesto Valverde did and destroyed Coutinho's career. And you cannot play Pedri in goalkeeper. You can't do that. Therefore, players need to play in their position. It's like you cannot play Messi as a center back, bro.
I think hopefully he just gets some minutes. And just some quick news: De Jong and Memphis both start for Netherlands for their match against Norway, so that's them getting some minutes. Now for me, the big news: Ansu getting number 10. I'm gonna say my opinion and ask you for yours, even though I know what yours is. I think Barcelona were looking for a way to not give it this season because they don't want to put that pressure. You have to remember, by the way, Ansu has not played or touched the ball on the pitch at the Camp Nou since November, and he's come back from 3 surgeries and he's taken the number 10 shirt. Of course, there's no pressure because there's no comparison for Messi. Ansu Fati, when he's at his peak, won't even touch Messi. I understand that, but I think giving it to him, I would have wished it wasn't just for 1 year, but the pressure that's going to be on him is going to be ridiculous. His first minutes coming on at the Camp Nou, number 10. Of course, in the past 3 months, he had 3 different numbers. He was 22, then 17, then number 10. But I'm kind of happy for him because he's taken on the challenge, which shows that he has big ambitions. And also, I think now he'll sign a new contract. Of course, his contract expires next year, but there is an option for an extra 2 years. But theoretically, on paper, it expires next year. So I think this will now solidify his contract renewal. So I'm happy for Ansu. I would have preferred it not to get it to him. It's a big surprise. Of course, no one expected it. And what's your reaction to Ansu getting number 10?
Happy, man. Really happy. Cheered up. After everything that has happened, I think this is a ray of light. Ansu Fati has an incredible talent. If anyone could have worn that number 10, it has to be Ansu Fati. It had to be Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati, despite his knee problem, I think he's gonna have a good end of the season. I really hope so. I cross my fingers and I knock on wood right now. I really believe that Ansu Fati has what has what you need, in order to wear this number 10. Obviously, they asked him, so he
Yeah,
accepted to wear the
have to
number
just give it
10.
to me. Yeah,
He had the guts of wearing it. Obviously, man, being a kid like that, I would accept it as well. But it's a big responsibility.
I
Big
don't have the balls. I always said, hell no, get that out of my face. Yeah,
anyways, if things go wrong, people are not gonna blame Ansu Fati.
yeah.
They're not gonna blame him because everybody loves Ansu Fati. Instead, Coutinho, I got in the number 10, it would have been this, and it went bad. It would have been a disaster.
You know who was gonna get it? It had to be Ansu Fati, 100%. Trusting La Masia, all that stuff. He is probably the best player in the team with everyone fit at their top level. So overall, I think we're both happy with it. I think we both can agree that we would have liked to keep it open for just one season, but in the end, Ansu was gonna we got it. We couldn't really prevent it. And just to end off the video, we gotta go through our season predictions. We are in, of course, 4 competitions: the Spanish Super Cup, Copa, La Liga, and the Champions League. I'll go through mine very, very quickly. Spanish Super Cup, of course, we play Real Madrid for the first time with this new format. They tried to always make us meet in the finals, but this year they got us in the semis. And of course, the other side is Atletico and Athletic Bilbao. Oh no, Real Sociedad. I don't know who the other one is. Anyway, it's like Real Sociedad, Athletic Club, or Valencia, one of those teams. I think if we make it to the final, if we pass Real Madrid, we'll win it. So I'll say 50-50 on that one. I think the Copa, of course, probably going to be our main target. I think with it only being one game, and then the semifinals is 2 games, I think we can get far. La Liga, I think it'll be difficult. You have Real Madrid with a good squad. I think Atletico are the clear favorites. If you just look at their squad, it's ridiculous. Griezmann, Suarez, Angel Correa, Carrasco, Llorente, Thomas Lomar, Kondo. Their squad is ridiculous. I don't think Barcelona will win La Liga. Of course, top 4, no doubt about that. And then the Champions League. I think if we get past the round 16, it'll be a success. 100%. We just get past, do better than last season, will be a success. So overall, I think if we're going to win the trophy, it will be the Spanish Super Cup or the Copa. But I'm going to say that Barcelona will not win a trophy this season. That is my prediction. If I had to, put money on it, I would say no. But I think we have a very, very good chance at the Spanish Super Cup and the Copa. I think La Liga will be. I think you made a great point. It's all about consistency. But of course, last season we showed that we don't have that. And the champions, I think we need a miracle for that. So I'll go trophyless, but we can win the Copa in the Spanish. So what's your prediction?
I'd say we're gonna win. Man, it's difficult, I'll give you my prediction.
I know you're a kind of guy that's like to predict stuff, but just give me what do you think?
Let me. No, I like predicting. We're gonna win. Yeah, but my predictions might be a bit biased, man, because I'm a big believer and fanatic, man.
Let me know your prediction in the chat, by the way, for people watching live.
I say we win the Super Cup of Spain, which is, by the way, is Atletico de Madrid and Athletic Club de Bilbao.
Yeah, because they.
So Madrid is playing Bilbao, and we're playing Atletico de Madrid. Yeah. No. Sorry. It's Barça Madrid and Atletico de Madrid against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Okay, so we have to beat Madrid.
Super Cup, so they're still in it, right? So that's how it works. Because we won the Copa del Rey, Atletico won the league, and Athletic Bilbao won the Spanish Super Cup when they beat us in the final. Then Real Madrid were the highest ranked team in La Liga because they came second. So that's how.
I assume. Yeah, they're always gonna get Madrid into it in any ways because
You think we'll win it?
It's I think we're gonna win it. I think
in the new format we haven't won it yet.
We're gonna win this cup. Copa del Rey. We're gonna win it as well, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. We're gonna win a treble today, man. This season we're gonna win a treble. Copa del Rey, we're gonna win it, and La Liga, we're gonna win it as well, man. Watch it.
Spanish treble? Oh.
Let's go. No. Let's be honest. I think we can win the Super Cup and the Copa del Rey.
Okay.
La Liga, I believe, man. I believe we can do it.
Champions?
But you know what? Let me say one thing. If we can get to the quarterfinals, there's a new draw. There is a new draw.
Last season we
There's a
were
new
knocked
draw.
out in the round 16. If we pass that, I'll take it. I'll take it. With this squad that we have now, big success for me. And with your prediction, by the way, Coleman will probably stay. I think for me, let's talk about Coleman quickly, just 2 seconds. I don't want to dwell into it. There's talked about him getting a contract renewal. If he wins the Champions League or La Liga, 100% he'll get the renewal. I think he has to win a trophy. I think if he wins the Copa, does well in the La Liga. I think there's so many stipulations for me, in my opinion. But of course, he wins the league or wins the Champions, I'll give him a 10-year contract, pay him wherever he wants. But I think it will be difficult for him to be the coach next season. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat too saying trophyless.
No, the people are saying I'm drunk or some stuff. I told you, man. I was gonna give you my
big believer. He's
prediction.
not
People are gonna go crazy. Guys, let me say one thing. Look, I'm a club member. I'm a socio. Okay, I have been for many years, different stages. I gave up at some point. I had to give up because of Bartomeu destroying my life. Yeah. I came back. It's official. I came back. Okay, I have the. I'll show you, man. I'm a club member, man. This is no jokes. I'll show you my card. It's right here.
So Pjanic starts for Bosnia as well. For those who want to know, he'll get some minutes, I guess, which is good.
But he's playing today.
For Bosnia.
For Bosnia.
Man.
They're
playing. Who they play? They play.
Here. Let me show you, man.
Oh, they face France. There you go. Griezmann versus Pjanic. Oh, there it is. Confirmation.
Telling you guys, cover the details because people are gonna scam me otherwise. This is my commitment to the club. It's my picture,
yeah.
This is my commitment to the club. Okay. Let me believe. Let me be happy. Let me go to Camp Nou and enjoy football. I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want to be pessimistic. Let me enjoy football.
Yeah.
Things will come. Things can come.
Yeah.
Or things cannot come. But what do I win? What do I win if I'm a pessimistic guy just saying, "Oh, we're crap. We're going nowhere. Crying. Laporta." Guys, he's fixing the club. We come from a disaster. Messi wanted to leave. Messi ended up leaving because of the disaster that Bartomeu created. Now we're starting to solve the problem. And no, we're not going to build Rome in one day. No. Rome was slowly built. And now we start from scratch, from nowhere, from the dust, from the ashes. You think the first day you build a castle from ashes in one day? You don't.
A comment here from Sammy, just supporting his own team. I think so. Overall, just to conclude, I think for me, on paper, my prediction for the season is trophyless. But I think the Spanish Super Cup and Copa del Rey we can win. In La Liga and the Champions will be difficult. Then Alex thinks we're going to win the Copa, win the Spanish challenge very, very well for La Liga. In the Champions League, he thinks round 16. If we get past that, will be good. So I think that's our overall predictions. And that's going to end the live stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you just, smash the like and subscribe. And of course, check out Alex's link is in the title. You can go check him out. Of course, does fantastic content around Barcelona. We're all excited for this season. Some maybe more than others. A lot of stuff's going to be running on the season. But of course, with the action of Juan Laporta during this transfer window, it looks like there's not too much expectation in the club. They hope that Ronald Koeman can do well with the team that he has. And if he does, he will probably stay and get a brand new contract because, of course, his contract expires this up and coming summer. Any final thoughts you want to say, Alex, before we end the stream?
Yeah. Believe, guys. Believe. Never stop believing. Always believe. And never give up, guys. Never give up. People are talking trash out there in Twitter, in Instagram, everywhere on the sites. We have Ansu Fati. We have Depay. We have Dembele. We have De Jong. We have Pedri. We have an incredible team, guys. I know we lost our greatest player, the greatest player in the history. We lost Griezmann. Yes, we lost Griezmann. But we have faith. We have faith and we still have La Masia. The Hercules never give up, guys.
Never give up. Yeah, we'll hope for the best this season. And of course, we hope to see some armpits, some trophies. That's the main objective. But of course, just doing well. And for me, just don't embarrass us in the Champions League is my, last thoughts. So thank you for joining me, Alex. Thank you everyone for watching live. Hopefully you guys again enjoyed it. Smash a like, hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Vishka